We've seen some absolutely horrendous posts be put on social media over the past 12 days because of the Charlie Kirk situation, and these individuals within the video game and entertainment spaces don't care about anybody but themselves, and they're just making it easier to ignore their products in the future. And while Ghost of Yotei is right around the corner, Sony definitely doesn't need the extra bad press, seeing as it's already faced several controversies, but that is exactly what is happening because every single post they're putting up, even the apology that the Sucker Punch boss released, was absolutely wrecked by gamers. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, when you hire activists, you are going to get people who are going to ignore your game. People are not willing at this point to support individuals who go on social media and attack them. And that's one really great thing about the video game and entertainment spaces right now, is that so many more people are paying attention to the individuals that are making our entertainment. And that means it's not as easy to use entertainment as a vessel to push propaganda. But every single time they make a controversial statement, it gets called out. And then you can really be educated on who you are monetarily supporting and the types of people who are getting your hard-earned money. And Ghost of Yotei has already faced so much backlash with them not continuing Jin Sakai's story and deciding to go with Atsu. We already knew that Erika Ishii was a controversial figure because she's an LGBTQ plus activist, and she's also self-proclaimed Antifa, which I don't think is what Sony needs right now. But because of the Charlie Kirk assassination, there's been a lot of people that have taken to social media to voice their opinions on it and either say how sorry they are to his family, and also the individuals on the other side of the aisle who are saying, good, I'm glad this happened, and just making vile comments. It is absolutely disgusting that these people feel like it's okay to just go on social media and point and laugh at the fact that somebody got killed. Sure, you don't have to agree with every single thing that he ever said, but no one's forcing you to make a statement on social media. You just could have kept those thoughts to yourself. But hey, the one good thing that came out of this situation is the fact that it makes it so much easier to go, we were right all along, because these individuals have called us conspiracy theorists, said you guys have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. We're not activists. And now we actually have proof of our claims that yes, they are just activists. They are just people who are very hateful, and ultimately they're just lunatics. And every single post that PlayStation is putting up about Ghost of Yotei now is being raked across the coals and ratioed. And while we saw the PlayStation Sucker Punch studio head commenting on this situation, it wasn't a good statement, because he basically goes, it's kind of where we are and it's sort of not okay. He said the facts are accurate. Drew's no longer an employee here. I think we're aligned as a studio that celebrating or making light of someone's murder is a deal breaker for us, and we condemn that kind of in no uncertain terms. That's sort of our studio, and that's kind of where we are, which is just such a crazy statement. It's like he went into this interview thinking that he wasn't going to be asked about this, and now that he was, he had to come up with an answer off the cuff. But it's a terrible answer, because he's not saying, no, it is not okay that you wish death came to somebody, and this isn't our studio mentality. He's saying he thinks they're aligned, which, first of all, I think that this really just cements the fact that he's lying, because you can't work at Sucker Punch and be the Sucker Punch boss and not understand that a lot of the employees you have are raging leftists. The voice actress you hired is Antifa. She's an LGBTQ plus activist. You have someone like Drew Harrison making this post, and several other people at the studio liking it and reposting it. You clearly know this, and you're very clearly lying. Or I guess if he only goes into the office like once a year, maybe he genuinely doesn't, but I think that that's really far-fetched. And he's saying that that's sort of our studio and that's kind of where we are, which just doesn't come across as genuine. And because it was, several days later, at this point, 12 days, and when he made the post, 10 days, you have to say to yourself, okay, this wasn't on like the top of their priority list. So it just comes across as, oh, we're really facing more backlash than we thought we would. Let's make this statement and hopefully quell some of these worries and shut some of these people up. But it didn't work out that way because people are calling him a liar. People are saying he is dishonest. And it's hard to sit here and give this guy the benefit of the doubt based on how long this response took. I mean, this is just one post about the Sucker Punch co founder commenting on the controversy. And there's people saying the game features a member of a terrorist organization. I won't buy such a game. I'm a dev. Look, most devs are not like those crazy lunatics. Many times you don't know someone is that crazy until the opportune time where they reveal themselves. Another thing that I think is so funny is when Jimmy Kimmel was put on indefinite suspension, we saw the left saying that they were going to boycott Disney. And of course, for quite a while now, the right has boycotted Disney, and the same thing is happening here. The left is boycotting a Sucker Punch now because they fired Drew and because they didn't allow this person to voice their hatred openly. And of course, there are people on the right who are boycotting it because they're upset that Jin Sakai was replaced. They don't support Erika Ishii and also these comments because that there's other people in this studio who share the same mindset. There are gamers saying, you know what? No, it took thousands voicing their displeasure to drag these bozos out of their caves to denounce condoning murder. And it's been over a week. What they should have done a day later. I don't believe them. They're looking at the numbers and the criticism and they're not liking what they're seeing, which I completely agree with. If the developers include a Charlie Kirk statue in the game, then I'll genuinely consider purchasing it. But apparently being Antifa is okay. This kind of behavior has been going on for far too long. Gamers have voiced their disgust with how developers and gaming culture as a whole has spat on their beliefs and feedback, placating far left-wing activism within gaming for well over a decade. Only when an innocent man had to die do we get any response or acknowledgement of said concerns. Until now, it has been widely ignored and left to fester beyond control. And this is just one of the many threads on the topic. It's got 800 comments, nearly 249 reposts, 2.7k likes. And here's another. This is the official PlayStation account talking about Yotei. It's got 9k likes, 1.6k reposts, and 2.2k comments. And most of the comments are negative. I'm Antifa, so is my wife. Yeah, because that's definitely going to help their freaking image. Hiring activists who only care about themselves is costing your studio money. Concord taught you no lessons, so hopefully shareholders will at Sony. Just here for the comments. Fuck this game. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. No thanks. They seem upset at the choice of non-binary lesbian protagonists, and then it's them crying. The devs cheer on real political violence and want anyone they disagree with murdered. Now, I do still think that Ghost of Yotei will sell okay because there's a lot of gamers out there who do not follow social media discussions. They do not care about politics, and there's just a lot of people that loved Tsushima. I personally loved Ghost of Tsushima as well. I would love for another great game to come out with similar characters and similar stories, but that's just not going to happen, it doesn't look like. And you also have to then balance, okay, well, I really want to play this game with I really don't want to support these people, so I'm not going to sit here and tell people what they should or should not buy. You're adults who can do what you want with your own money. The left is the group that tells you what you should and should not be buying with your funds because they personally don't support certain people. But I know for me, it's very tough to sit here and say that I want to support this now. I really don't. And it's sad that, when we've been waiting for so many years for Tsushima 2 to come out, this is the pile of slop we get. So I'll be keeping my eye on Yotei, I'm sure, covering it again as we get closer to the launch, but we're not even that far away, and it seems like Sony is panicking. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.